SK, they will be losing the knifing starting on the T side here, so we'll see what kind of play comes out on the pistol round. It's going to be a Cillian with the smoke and Molotov. That suggests an inside play here. We talk about that Molotov time and time again. You save it when the bomb's down, you chuck it in. CTs don't normally have kits here on the pistols, but it's going to be Phelps. He actually has purchased it, and a couple of smokes as well, so they're ready to extinguish that Molotov if it comes in. It's a full-on inside rush. Vods does spot them, hits up the first headshot as well. Lovely stuff to take down Modi. The bomb should be planted here, but another kill for him as well. Vods taking down 2, 5 on 3. This will be a very dangerous round now for SK Gaming. Oh, it's over.
Yeah, very over. Bomb plant at the very least, which will potentially, all right, Cillian wants to play on this a little bit. Does do see some damage out of the second player, Phelps as well, but bomb plant at the very least will allow a faster buy for SK in this, so they can get into it potentially on round 3, depending on how they elect. They've been fairly efficient with money early on, so I'd expect to see them go for the full save here.
I'm not a fan of that from SK Gaming. I'm all for an inside rush in the pistol round, but you need that one smoke. The silent USP has such a huge advantage in terms of the range towards our lower ramp area. The Glocks are never going to be able to take him out, so do one quick smoke, and then you can go down the inside side. You're still guaranteed that plant. Unfortunately for them, it's Vods. He's got so many targets to hit. He spams his USP, finds one headshot, rotates in, and before the bomb's down, he's actually found 2 kills. So it was a difficult prospect for SK Gaming. Like you said, they get the bomb down, and they will be actually forcing into this round, which is a weird result. Normally, most teams will be going in for the AKs on the third, but they're all in. They didn't get really many kills, so they couldn't go for the AK-47. It's going to be 1 UMP and Tech 9 to go with it. This could be surprising for Henny. He's looking for the big spray downs here and farming some cash with his MP7. And he's going to be aggressive, of course. He's going to spot the Tech 9s down. That signaled it is a force buy. So, Brave opening things up, though. Lovely stuff to take down Henny. 5 on 4, and they've got some options now.
Catch them off guard slightly with this 5. Sometimes still playing aggressively on the beat ramp so that they won't be able to get in there quickly and call for the rotation of Lucas, but it's still all on Ivy that the action persists. There's 2 smokes now out on top of it, stacked so there's no gap, no information given. It's going to discourage SK altogether. They'll go back and join in with Freeze. Right now is holding one of the 3 Tech 9s, excuse me, Modi as well.
Still, terrorists have 5 smokes available, Matt, so let's see what kind of execution potential they have. They are lining up smokes here, so got some sort of tactical depth going in. It's going to be a wall of smokes towards outside area, but this is the danger man right now. Lucas, that silence M4, with that bird's eye view of the bomb site, he can cause a lot of damage here.
And here's your wall of smokes as well, with no one playing aggressive from the Immortals side. It's thankful that Phelps is on top of this train, and then they've got Lucas inside of the control room, because otherwise it's a straight walk into the default plant. The Cillian will get the bomb down. They're down a man still in this, though, and perfect rotation from Showtime, but a miss! A big miss as Monty turns and snaps onto him with the Tech 9. A kill before that from Glaive, and suddenly it's still a 2 versus 2. HP is low on the SK side, but with the bomb down, with 2 Molotovs up, because they picked up a CT Incendiary, they can try and bait this out even longer. They don't even have to face this. There's the first one, brilliantly placed. No kit. This is going to be the round for SK. They just need to stay alive.
It's not. It's going to be going the other way. And that's a really aggressive play. You could see the mentality of SK Gaming. Like you said, it looked like they could just escape up there, rely on the Incendiary to hold them off. But really brave play from Immortals. They're sticking together, hitting all the shots. It's going to be a close defuse as well. They had no kits to work with. Had to be very assertive there. And it works out 2-0. After a couple of opening picks there from SK, we saw Lucas up in that control tower, and he didn't manage to actually get more than 1 kill. Comes down to the 2 on 2. And it's Immortals prevailing this time. And the plant comes down for SK, so it means they'll be fine going forward to the next round in terms of money, but still, that's a round they had a strong chance of winning, and another clutch going in favor of the Brazilian side there.
And if that second Molotov even goes out before he goes down, it was over. I mean, that was so, like, everything was in their favor. So very good from Immortals to get aggressive and do it in a timely fashion. Holds them on, and again, the force buy now from SK2 plants. They have to save in this one, and this is perfect. Phelps. Showtime just needs to delay it. Molotov out on top of the ramp. They push toward the upper corner all they like. Phelps just needs to peek around, and they'll soon realize that he's got a shooting gallery in front of him. Manages the first, the second as well. Third in his favor. Does he catch the rotation coming around from Glaive? Does. And it's going to be closed out by Lucas. 4 kills by Phelps, though.
Just too easy at that point. Like he said, a complete shooting gallery there. A little bit of aim practice coming in. SK Gaming Word trying to opt towards the inside area, but this is with around the counts now. Immortals do go 3-0 up, but that bomb plan helps SK Gaming boost their funds going into round number 4. They have got the AWP on Frizz, and let's see whether they can enter this gun round with positive tendencies. Let's see what goes on. It's going to be full rifles on AWP, and Henny on the AWP as well. He's going to be looking towards Ivy, the side of the round. Glaive and Val's going to be there. Flashbang comes in, but a default round for sure from the terrorists there.
No AWP. Trying to find that opening out toward Ivy. Phelps playing close to him, leaves Lucas alone, and he's actually going to try and push in and take the fight completely solo against a Sicilian, so gives himself up. Gives the first pick now to the SK side on the first gun round. First full gun round. Play a run boost, but just a jump across, and Henny can't quite hit the shot on Evalda. It does give away the information, so Henny's going to switch his position to Hitch to watch out toward A main, where Asilian's gone down, and Phelps, to compensate for that, is no longer supporting at Ivy. They've split themselves on this A site entirely.
Well, the patience has worked out for SK Gaming so far. Gifted a kill in the form of Lucas. They still have tons of utility to play with. You can see he's made the next mistake here. Looks like they may be opting towards inside. That's where Asilian and Modi will be going with the bomb as well. Glaive, he's the lurker this time. He'll be sticking towards Ivy. Looking to backstab, or maybe showing his hand towards that area to hold some CTs from rotation, and will be a full inside execution. But look towards the B side now. If you look on the minimap right now, not a single player towards inside side. So if they were to strike right now, it's a free plant, and Val's watching Pop Dog as well. This is a really nice setup for SK Gaming.
Yeah, there's the rotation from Phelps, like you say, Valda watching. It doesn't get the kill, curiously enough, but does discourage Phelps from going quickly on that rotation down to 19 HP, and they've got all the other access covered as well. Phelps does get Valda in the end, so staying alive, it does haunt his initial attacker. However, round all but concluded as Glaive's going to push through. And it's Bolts that's waiting at Hell. He may catch him off if he elects to try and push all the way into the site rather than go out toward Ivy, which is instead what he's going to do, so he'll keep that AK up as well. Immortals side, they've got decent money, but saving these two guns would secure a much, much better buy in the next round regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see Glaive now on the hunt. He's searching for the T-spawn here, and actually getting the drop on Phelps as well. That works out quite nicely for him. Bolt's going to be the last remaining player. He's in the outside yards, just hoping that no one comes hunting for him there. But SK Gaming shows patience is a virtue as they managed to hold off the aggressive play from Lucas at the start of the round. And it was an all-in moment from Immortals there, not leaving a single player toward that inside site. It was a gamble that didn't work out for them. Slow play from SK Gaming toward that site. Chris holding forward to connect around with the AWP. Takes down the rotating player in the form of Henny. Locks down the round, and that's a first gun round going in favor of SK Gaming, but still plenty of money available here for Immortals. Only one kit though. The strongest buy. That's 4 rifles and an AWP. I think we have some sort of technical issue here. We have a crash, so it's a stop. Yeah, it's a good time to call it before anything really happened.
Yeah, they can get away with it before any damage is dealt in the round, and there's no dispute. It's who's the crash? Doesn't say. We don't have the information, but it is called from the SK side.
I have to say, this tournament's been very smooth in terms of pauses or crashes. I think this is the first time we've actually seen all tournament.
Don't speak too soon, Henry.
No, I'm confident.
All right.
We've got the most powerful admins available.
We do. You once decided not to give Mod any credit on his stream at Fragbite. You were just rude to him.
Did I? What did I say?
But he is the best admin. You just wouldn't give him anything.
Really? I don't know. I apologize.
It's fine.
I like him. He's a nice man.
He is very good at what he does.
Well then, it was 3-1 in favor of Immortals of SK Gaming picking up that first gun round. We have a slight crash here. Headsets are coming off, but suggest it could be a little while.
Well, they're waiting for the admins to get there. That's all.
Comes. So a PC crash on those lovely little Alienware machines.
On a Sicilian as well, to be precise, for anyone who's cared enough to know which exact player it is. This crowd's definitely waiting for the NIP game.
That's when it's going to be.
As well. It's a double Swedish battle again, which didn't go that well for Ninjas in Pajamas last night when they played against Godsend.
I think that's at 10:30 tonight, and that's going to be when this arena erupts. That's going to be such a fun game to cast.
I'm actually going to go sit in the crowd. I don't want to cast it, Henry. You can do it alone.
Solo?
I want to be a part of the party.
All right. Well, I'm more than fine with that.
I'm still on vacation.
Yeah?
I mean,
allegedly.
Allegedly.
You've only got like 3 events coming up somewhere.
Yeah, it's no big deal. It's a good vacation.
But that's how you like to spend your free time. It's casting Counter-Strike. So in a way, you're on a permanent vacation.
Yeah.
Spending your time with me every day until you die.
And this is my idea of hell.
Get it out on Twitter.
Yeah, I will.
Well, if you are just joining us, this is a best of 3. The loser will be going home. The winner advances to the semi-finals. Mike? I'll call you Mike if you want.
Did you just call me Mike?
Yeah.
Were you actually trying to address me?
I think I was. My brain stopped working. Matt.
Wow.
We've heard you've been having some escapades on a bicycle recently.
Oh, yes. Why are we talking about that on stream?
I just wanted to know if you could just, like, how has it been going for you? Everyone's been knowing you've got a new bike on social media. How's it been going?
Over the
a few
bar,
bumps and bruises.
Yeah, over the bars about 8 times. I think I got concussed twice in 2 weeks, so we're doing good.
That's not bad. That's better than I anticipated.
Exactly.
The fact you made it here, I'm impressed.
Yeah, battered and bruised, I am.
Well, you're still handsome to me, even though you have grown.
You.
Whatever that is on your face.
So yeah, about this, I wore it over, like, this is kind of like I'm just too lazy to shave because I don't have to over the 2-week period, and I wore it over as a joke, thinking you guys will make fun of me, and then everyone encouraged me to leave it and go on stream with it, which was a terrible decision.
Are you feeling self-conscious about it?
No, I don't care. I'm on vacation, Henry.
So, beard. Maybe I'll do one as well.
Don't.
Mine would be horrible.
God forbid.
I will potentially save that for November. We'll leave it as a special charity fundraiser because it's going to be disastrous. But yeah, as I was finishing my point there, if you are joining us, it's 1-1 in this best of 3 winner does advance to the semi-finals. Loser goes home. It's brutal. In this best of 3, it was Cobble that opened things up, and SK Gaming winning things in a very convincing fashion indeed. 16-6, we moved on to Overpass, and that seemed where Immortals finally came to life and got themselves a decent victory there. It was 69, I believe. And it looked like for a moment SK were going to bounce back, but a huge play from Lucas with the 5-7 got the match point and moved them on to trade. And this is the problem now. SK, we know they're lacking preparation in terms of what they can do with this lineup. Obviously, they have some core fundamentals left over from the lineup and the 3 players from what we saw at Gfinity, but still, it's very difficult to orchestrate a map like Train effectively.
One of the things that, and this is kind of side topic, obviously Immortals very much still in this series, having won this second map, and now in this one, having a great start at 3-1. Looks like we're about to get back underway, the unpause call, but just one of the thoughts is the last good run that we saw from Immortals was when they were Tempo Storm, DreamHack Austin. That was when they separated with their coach at the time, Peacekeeper, I can't remember which it is,
Peacemaker.
Yeah, now with, obviously, jumped over to Team Liquid. So you have to wonder if there's some sort of leadership that kind of fell off there, but it seems like they've definitely been on a decline. They don't have that same style.
Every team goes for a slump at some point, right?
Sure.
It can't just be success all the way. They're still quite a young team in terms of the players and their age and how long they've been together. It's going to be turbulent at times, especially when you start raising eyebrows and start having good results. People will start paying a lot more attention to you, right?
And that's the Cloud9 curse 2015 in the summer when no one really took them seriously. They won a bunch of games, and then as soon as they were counter-stratted or people watched their demos, they had problems.
Yeah, exactly. And as soon as you start turning heads, that's when things get a bit more difficult. That's when you can prove whether you really are a top team, if you can actually bounce back from that. We've seen it many times when the Envious lineup was first put together. They had a very loose playstyle. No one was really sure how to lock it down. That's how they came into their ascendance of one of the world's best teams. And obviously now it's kind of, they've had that slump period. They seem to be coming back as well. It's whether you can bounce back from those slumps.
Well, bounce back into this game we shall. If the slump is going to end here for Immortals, if they can get through to the playoffs. It's 3-1 for them. First cut round did go to SK, and Freeze, very quick jump, nearly catching off one of the CT players in the form of Phelps out toward that Ivy position. Bolt is going to rotate up. He, all the way from CT, was playing on B to start off the round. He's come over to play a Crossfire. This allows Lucas to play with Henny as well, and he does have the AWP on the ticket booth watching onto A main. So decent passive holds, but Crossfire and support set on the A site. Showtime, though, the interesting thing about this, look at his position in the B site. He's so far back, even with just the rifle, that they'll be able to walk in and get a plant easily. Fortunately, that bomb way out toward Ivy, it won't affect this early on.
Decent incendiary there just to hold off the terrorists before they were thinking about pushing on their area. Still plenty of time to play with here as well, and 5 smokes. So they definitely have that wall of smoke potential available for them. Modi, of course, by himself on the other side of the map, watching for any rotations, potential work there as well coming in, but it's a very default setup so far. Showtime going to be holding inside by himself with the M404, like I said, very passive hold. Won't be able to do too much apart from get some information for his teammates, but here comes the smoke execution from the terrorists here. Maybe the bomb going towards inside. You can see it's actually set up towards Pop Dog right now, but it looks like they will be committing towards the outside side. See whether the CT's can hold this off.
This is such a desperate position to be in. Both players out of Pop Dog already. Thankfully, that smoke just covered him off because he could have easily gone down trying to spray down this default plant. He can't find it. So Vasilian will get that in place. Jumps up, is going to give away his position, but Lucas is able to spot one, and now a second for Phelps. It looked like Lucas may have gotten that kill. It was not. It was Phelps instead. Regardless, it's just 2 remaining. Freeze and Glaive, who's gone down at the hell position, and Freeze isn't even going to contest this. He wants to save the AWP. It is just 3 rounds, sure, but a reset that's now going to go against SK.
Yeah, they get the bomb down, but money isn't going to be fantastic here. We'll see what happens.
And the op's gone.
There it is. They will have, I think there'll be enough for a buy potentially here. You can see 6k on a Cillian, 5 almost. They definitely can get 8k. It's just going to be Glaive that's feeling the burn a little bit more, but I think if he dropped a kill or something, so he should be okay.
There's a Cillian drop for Freeze to get AWP back out, though.
Oh, they could get the AWP they wanted to. It's not like the AWP had...
Modi did it.
The AWP hasn't been really lining up so far, obviously very early days, but they can do the full wall of smoke execution there. They get the bomb down for any frag to exchange. That's normally a dream scenario, but that was a boost working out perfectly for Lucas and Phelps. They managed to get 3 very quick frags here. We go into round number 6, and it's going to be Glaive. He's the one on the Tech 9. They have got a few smokes, a Molotov, another default play coming in here. Trying to work a pick towards Ivy once again. It's to be Vowed. Trying to bait out the shot of the AWP here. This time Henny will be in the connector area, looking towards main.
I've done that jump a few times.
Yeah, it means you can like, work out what kind of hold's coming in. If you can work out an AWP was there, you can see whether you have to actually expend or issue smoke grenades. It always baits out a shot. It's very difficult to actually land that one.
It's just the information, so. Chris with the AWP. And he's staring down that entrance point. This time not on top of Ticket Boots. He's on the ground behind it. Phelps has decisions to make, though, because he's basically the linchpin inside of this site where he has to swing between the 2 choke points. The information relayed from his team, and he's going to elect to go to A main because Henny saw them walk through, and it's a Cillian that gets found. So good communication relayed from teammate to teammate on the Immortals side. Phelps is going to smoke off well onto the help position. They've rotated a second player over inside the site itself. That's Henny again with the AWP. So Phelps can focus onto the Ivy, and that's exactly where Glaive is going to walk through. Phelps needs to refrag it, does so. So again, good communication. And he finds Freeze, and Modi, no entrance at all. Showtime there to hold it.
Well, these default plays for SK aren't really working out for them. They're trying to work the picks at the start of the round, but Immortals are shutting them down. And every single area there, it's just great setups, good crossfires, and SK Gaming haven't really got rolling on these gun rounds so far. I'd like them to see them have a little bit more aggressive play. We see a lot of the faster plays from teams like Vods Pro. I think they're the ones that really set it up in terms of teams, the way they play this map, and in terms of those fast, aggressive plays with some fast set smokes as well. I think SK Gaming need to rely on a little bit more of that and see if they can do anything with the better spawns. But it's going to be round number 7, a full eco here. Actually have 2 players in spawn for SK Gaming. I'm not sure what's going on there. They're just taking a timeout. The bombs in there with spawn, no one's actually moving. Maybe they're having a walk around, getting a stretch. Oh, maybe they've crashed. Well, maybe not. I guess this is kind of the existing style timeout. You've got nothing going on. You just got Glocks, and you're in a discussion. You see actually on the camera at first, he's actually just looking around discussing things. So this is exactly what's going on right now. Existence actually was famous for this in Source, and he brought it over to CSGO as well. Instead of expending a timeout on one of the rounds you potentially will buy, when you know you've got a full eco here, just Glocks, you just sit around in spawn and discuss how you're going to approach the next round. It's weird to look at, and people like who aren't familiar with CSGO or wonder what the hell's going on, but it's kind of clever. It means you get to keep your actual pause when you really need it.
And the chances of someone pushing all the way to T-spawn on Dust, on Train are limited anyway, so why not? They don't really lose much in this. 47 seconds, all still alive and, well, I was going to say healthy, but a nade changes that quite quickly as they approach this B site. Showtime waiting. He may finally get challenged in this position. Quick shoulder peek, just spotted enough to encourage throwing the Molotov out. Phelps doesn't have access on this rotation because they are with Freeze waiting at the top of that ladder, but he hears him run away. He's going to try and go back. This is Phelps trying to get information. Finally, he's going to get up onto the platform. Does spot a Cillian around in the corner, but watch to his left, and that's where Freeze is. It's going to be the only kill, but it's an AK picked up. Bomb didn't get planted out of this. Freeze commits to it regardless because they're going to have the buy. It is now 6 for Immortals to the 1 that SK have achieved so far.
We're going to another gun round here. It's first, though, not on the AWP. It's going to be... Oh, I guess it's swapping it over. That makes sense. Cillian did have a little blast a bit on the last map, but...
it was Glaive.
It was a Glaive.
It was Glaive.
Yeah. He actually got 3 kills of it. It was actually one of the rounds he was pretty impressive with. But random break comes in, and it's not going to be any double AWP setup so far for Immortals. They're just sticking to their guns. More ways than one. Great. We'll see whether there's a change in pacing. We haven't really seen too much towards that inside area. It looks like that's where SK Gaming will be focusing their efforts towards this round. The bomb's going to be there as well. Vowed getting control of the upper halls. That's prime bit of real estate there for the terrorists. You can see the Molotoving off towards the top. That stops any sort of potential AWP being up and up around there. Going to be a very strong position to hold. And this time not going to be happening. Actually going to be committing towards this upper platform area. This could work out quite nicely for them. The problem is there are 2 CDs waiting for them this time. Let's see where this works out.
Well, they did really well to push Henny back off that corner. So he has to hit the shots, does land it onto Modi, who was slightly blinded on the way through. He'll find the second on a Cillian. He hasn't done enough to save Showtime, but they've denied the bomb plant out of this. It's going to allow the rotation to come through. We talked about how easy it is to get that bomb down once you have access to the site, but just enough work from Henny. It's going to follow up, though. Volta goes down. SK, they got to find at least one more pick, and they haven't even found that. The AWP of Henny is just absolutely wreaking havoc. 3 kills. Glaive, here's the push up from Bolts, managing 1. Goes for an aggressive peek toward Lucas. He's got the information, the rifle's there, but Henny, he knows, is still watching this position. And there's no real damage done to either of his opposition. It's just desperate at this point. 41 seconds, bomb still on top of that train too.
Henny's just got this completely locked down. He knows the bombers as well. He picks up his 4th kill of the round, and this is the problem. We said the tactical depth on train might not be there for SK Gaming, and they get full control of the upper platforms. They had utility available as well, and instead of executing with flashbangs and the Molotovs and a couple of smokes taking off some key areas, you can see on the screen right now, what is that? Like, Henny should be flashed at this point. It should be much more pressure applied to him. It's very easy at that point for someone like him to hit those kind of shots with no one even firing back at him. That's just going to be a complete walk in the park, and no bomb planted for SK Gaming this time. It's going to be another eco coming in, and this T-half is going to be very difficult for them. We predicted it maybe, but it's pretty brutal so far. As we go to round number 9, just have a flashback to play with. This will be another clean cut round for Immortals.
Lucas to start it. Gathered at the top of the ladder. Good pop flash through. They've thrown that successfully just about every single time. So this time it finally catches off Phelps. Marty's usually the one to throw it. Asilian goes in. I'll rotate back on this. We're gonna wait for anyone trying to flank this out, and they'll split themselves. Potentially throw a fake onto this A site, cause a rotation, and try and just get a bomb plant down from the SK side.
Well, 1 kill obtained, 1 flashbang remaining. They're going to be going towards inside here, hoping for the best on that lower round. The flashbang's decent, but Vods finding 2 kills and Showtime finishing things off there. It's going to be a pretty clean sweep in this game. Once again, don't get the bomb down. The money is actually pretty promising. They have maximum loss bonus now. That means they get $3,400 per round. Bomb plants definitely help boost that, but they do get the AWP out on Frisk once again. It's 8-1. We're going to round number 10. And no real pressure applied to Immortals so far in these gun rounds. As you can see, SK Gaming not really discussing too much. It looks like they're not really fired up as much as we saw in the first time. So they can answer back here to be another default once again. More presence towards the Ivy this time. They're not playing anyone towards A main, which is when they were getting shut down quite a lot at the start of the rounds. Phelps is spotting for that jump across now. We've seen it happen a couple of times from the dumpster. Let's see if Phelps can do anything about it. It's optimistic to try and stop it with the M4, but it's going to be falling back now. It's going to be backed up by Bolts as well.
And they're trying to bait it out as well with that jump to get Freeze, but Freeze was already peeking it. It flashes to slow that down originally because we saw Freeze get into a very quick position the last time he had an AWP. Nearly did find the opening pick against Phelps on that instance, but they are still pushing on this with that smoke down. So this crossfire is going to be very important. Phelps needs to be weary of giving up all his ammo, down to just 1 bullet left. Thankfully, there's a loud click. You know, he'll hear that he's got no ammo left, Henry.
We haven't discussed that.
I don't want to discuss that. As Phelps, though, does pick up 1 kill. Valda gets back in. So Crossfire's gone. Bolts has to hold this alone. Lucas is over toward the control room. So that, meaning no Crossfire, means Bolts is going to just rotate back in the site. They're going to give up that real estate, give up that ground. But he's going to play this differently because they're still looking over to find him behind the smoke. And he's rotated perfectly. Good play from Bolts all the way around the inside of the site. 2 kills for him. And Marty, though, sneaking into this B site, missing the shot against Lucas, is going to make this nigh on impossible for Asilian to try and make a play.
Yeah, it all came down to Marty then. The fact his teammates went down towards Ivy, he needed a huge play from that inside area. Gets taken down straight away in the city, and like he said, looking at 6s and 7s of this one, because he's going to be smoking off connector. They're going to know exactly where he is. If we can get a plant down, that would help. Like we said, maximum loss bonus to bomb going down, adds an extra $800 to that, but going to be taken down for the smoke. Lucas gets the final kill, and what looked like a promising start there is completely shut down by Bolts. Perfect timing towards that Ivy area, and here we go then, round number 11. And the money's still strong for the terrorists, but still struggling in terms of the final executions getting onto the site here. They're good at getting the opening picks, but just can't finish it off, it seems. A change of pace for the CTs now. Instead of a double AWP setup, it's going to be Showtime with the auto sniper, and why not? It's one of the most effective maps to use this weapon on. Obviously, a lot of smoke executions and some tight choke ones like this one. It's a perfect place for it. The lower ramp, of course. As soon as you feel like the players coming in towards that area, just completely spam it, shut them down, do a ton of damage. See what SK brings to the table now. A lot of defaults, but this one's more promising. Getting that first kill towards Phelps in the Ivy area. And they're going to be committing to this as well, trying to push out. Bolts waiting on the other side though.
17 kills total, including that one for SK in this game. Phelps has 14 alone, just to give you an idea of how lacking SK has been in trying to get into these rounds, even just to create openings for themselves. But this time, it is the first pick, and that's going to be extremely important. Smoke out in front of Madi. Gonna give him access to the site, but he's at this point just waiting. He's just got to hold station as they get 3 players out toward Ivy and try and take this position again by force. It hasn't worked out in the past, but they forced a bit of a rotation off of it, so they should sneak in toward Lucas's position.
Sticking to the grouping towards Ivy here. Buddy's system checking every angle, making sure they're trading effectively. Not going to be a factor here though. They do hit on Lucas to open things up on the side now. Surely going to be winning this round as Modi chimes in. That's it, just Bolts remaining. And finally SK Gaming get their second round on the board here. It's going to be 9-2. Just Bolts. He could actually justify going for a few kills here. The money is swelling for the CTs, but it looks like he'll just be holding up towards CT Sport. And finally, something to report for SK. It's Asilian this time getting 3 kills. They're opening things up, and this seems like the heavier Ivy presence. Instead of having 1 towards A main and 2 towards side alley, they're actually able to open it up a little bit more effectively, and that's a great shot to start the deficit with the CTs at Bolts. Hoping he can hear something, but at this point, I don't think SK Gaming are going to think this hunt is going to be worth it whatsoever.
No, not whatsoever at all, because it's going to be a reset. Full reset, 6 rounds since they've won their only round that they did achieve on round 4.
One thing is interesting as well. Frisk, we've been calling his praises throughout this best of 3, and he hasn't really arrived on the T side of the train whatsoever. He hasn't really had any opportunities to do much with this. They're working the picks at the start of the round. They're denied. No one's really facing them whatsoever. It's Immortals waiting for the final play before they really show their hand. The crossfire's just supreme in most situations. And he hasn't really had the same sort of impact we've seen on Overpass, especially Cobblestone. Going to round number 12 now. SK Gaming losing that lost bonus, that buffer they had going into each round. So if they lose this round, they're in a world of pain. And looks like it's going to be Immortals now actually changing things up, going aggressive. It's been a problem towards Ivy, this heavy play from the terrorists here. And it's going to be Glaive with 2 headshots. Shuts it down straight away. And what a way to arrive on round number 12. By himself, no less, as well. That's really impressive stuff.
Interesting that Immortals have been winning that duel for the most part, and they elect to try and push through and get caught for it. So a change that may have not been necessary. A brilliant play from Glaive, and you're dead right. This is going to give them a huge chance to win 2 on the bounce and avoid that reset potential. Remember, they kept 5 alive the first round, previous round of these 2. If they can do that again, they'll put themselves in a good position for the rest of the half, regardless of the outcome. Henny and Lucas going to play off of each other inside of this A site, both passively, and they can't really face either choke point. They have to let them into the site, lure them into a trap, and Henny not able to hit that first shot against Frisk is going to not only give away his position, give them more ground to stand on. And as he walks up on top of this train, we have to continue to keep track of the fact that Glaive could still push in Ivy at any moment.
Huge advantage here for SK Gaming, but taking away, they need to work out where they're going to go with this final play. Once again, the CT's opting to leave no one towards that inside area, and that's exactly where SK Gaming will be heading with the bomb. It's in the hands of Asilian right now. And once again, I feel like they're going to get away with this. Glaive at the backstab towards side alley. He gets taken down, and I think that's going to be the game completely up here. And oh god, this could fall apart for SK Gaming after such a promising start from Glaive. 3-on-3 now. Bomb is going to be planted, and the retake is on.
And this relies on Modi. Last time he pushed through in this B site, they didn't have bomb down, mind you, but he missed this shot. And Showtime knows that he's got to check this alleyway because that's the common push position from the T's and the post plant. So he's already cleared that. That's first job done. But with the smoke down, where's Modi playing it from? Molotov's intended to find him, and the spray. That's so smart. He knows that's the position the terrorists get aggressive in, and Modi's been there multiple times. It's Lucas to find Volta. They may still do this. Asilian in a 1-on-3 on top of the site. Can't do anything, and he's got it. Brilliantly done from Immortals, and that is so smart from Showtime. Cleared every single angle on the way through.
I feel like SK Gaming just benefited from sticking together. They were so focused on these lurks, getting the fakes. You've got a 2-man advantage at this point. You just need to stick to the numbers. You haven't really got the tactical depth to have that synergy on this map to make those kind of plays happen. They lost to 2 players that are faking towards outside, and the round fell apart at that point. It's such a crushing round after Glaive had such phenomenal work there towards the Ivy area. And Showtime, what a play this was. Like you said, so smart. It's the incendiary to bait out any terrorists that may be waiting on the other side of that train. He sprays it down, and he was waiting on the other side. 10-2 now. And we've got a double AWP set up on the T side here. Money not broken just yet. Loss bonus definitely has been reset. It's going to be Henny looking towards. He hits the shot this time. Only manages to get a leg shot in, and the incendiary goes in. I think they anticipated that and decided to fall back.
Yeah, Volta knew he was definitely going to get naded after he got lagged. So finally they get some damage into that jump. 3rd time's a charm. Glaive's still waiting for a repeak on this, but there's no need for Immortals to do so. Does spot a toe and an elbow, but not enough to shoot at.
Well then, what a damage being inflicted to the terrorist side here. Well, still facing towards the Ivy area. It's a very default setup once again from SK Gaming, not focusing towards that Ivy area. They're hoping Frisk can have some sort of impact this time as he spots towards A main. Nothing to gather though. That's been the problem for him. He hasn't had any opportunity to get this opening picks. Train is a very difficult map in that respect. Not many opportunities available, and Henny just waiting for him to show himself on that palace.
Smoke still. And now a flash means Henny can't get the information. Phelps is going to push closer to the A main position to try and get a read. There's 42 seconds, and Glaive finally does win that battle. How does Phelps respond to this, though? It's going to be Bolts instead that rotates over. Smoke out in between quad. It's going to limit Phelps entirely. He can't get on the train above it. He's trying to play this off a sound, and Flash goes through. He's going to try and just jump on this. The best he can do is stay alive, so through the same smoke that they pass by, he's actually got an advantage on this. He may catch them off the default. Monty doesn't even look at him, but it is Freeze to turn back and land the shot. This should allow the plant, because it's just showtime against 3. Cillian's left alive on the bomb, and he finds him quick enough that he falls away as well. It's 100 HP, but the nade out. Volda gets away with it. 7 HP. It could have been his life gone.
Another default going in favor of SK Gaming. This time, AWP does prevail. It's a double AWP setup with the T's. They do lose that weapon. I don't think they can get a second here, so what worked so well for them in that round won't be an option going into number 14. It's going to be a single AWP setup, the same story for Immortals here. As we go to the dying sectors of this first half. It's been a pretty convincing case so far for Immortals. 10-3 is the current scoreline. 2 rounds remain. I feel like SK Gaming need these last 2s. The CD setup and what I've seen so far, the T side's going to be a bit of a struggle for them. Needed to post positive numbers here, but here we go. Now adjusting himself towards the connector area. Waiting for that pick once again coming from Freeze.
Phelps on top of Green Trim. Be able to spot Freeze's position. Again, he's going to play this toward quad. We saw Lucas get boosted on top of the bomb train previously, early on in this game, and it worked out. He actually managed to pick up a kill. He doesn't go up on top of the actual toxic barrel itself this time, but stays on the bomb train. He's got 2 again, so he's denying them the access. No smokes out, curiously enough, this time, despite going onto the A site. And Glaive, managing only 1 kill, will go down immediately after. Immortals strike back again with another round, so it's been the last 4 rounds split 2 each, 1 back and forth. Means the money, well, it's round 15, they'll force out any, isn't great really for either side, but they still managed to get the AWP out onto Henny.
Goes to round number 15, and you have to say, Matt, SK Gaming just relying on these defaults and the pick mentality time and time again. They haven't really tried anything too fast. No rushes towards the outside area. Nothing really focused towards inside. That was very poor when they tried to go to that area. Just hoping some of their star players can perform. That has happened a couple of times, but this has been rough.
Well, and it goes back to what you said. You talked to them outside between maps, and they knew, oh, there it is. It only gets better. The more you do it, the more you're going to give them the opportunity. He's figured out the angle. Henny actually not only lags, he gets the kill this time. But like you said, they just haven't had time to play this map. Good response from Phelps through the smoke. Going to close this out with a very convincing 12-3 halftime scoreline. Remember, that's the same what SK did. Really did to them in the first map.
What a
Henny,
shot.
great shot. Glaive goes for another one. Very fast reactions. Does tag up a Cillian through the wall. Over the pistol, closes out the half. At a 12-3 score, exactly that. And 18 kills for Phelps. Henny hasn't needed to do too much. He does have 13 kills, but he hasn't needed to be that fancy, that aggressive, as we often talk about needing to find openings for them.
We've talked about SK Gaming throughout this tournament having very good fundamentals. Their defaults have been great. Their decisions in terms of anti-eco situations have been fantastic. They just haven't really got rolling here, relying on the defaults time and time again. And I feel like Train is one of those maps where you need the set pieces in your back pocket. You can't just have one wall of smoke play towards outside. You need to have those executions towards inside as well. You need to have the rushes with the running set smokes. That's some of the hardest stats to actually execute. You have to be throwing those while running. And you can see that he didn't have that. They're hoping their big players like Freeze can find picks, but Immortals are just chiming onto it. They're just making sure that they don't give anything away at the start of the round and forcing SK to go for the faces. And it worked out a few times to get 3 rounds, but that's when someone's really stepping up, like Play, for example, finding a couple of kills towards Ivy, or they push out together and they trade effectively. But I don't think 12-3 is going to be enough here. They're really going to struggle, and it goes without saying here, Matt, SK Gaming desperately need the pistol on the CT side. If they lose this, I'm calling right now, that's going to be the GG moment for me.
It's not hard to imagine that that would be the case. I mean, they get the 3 ensuing rounds, or the 3 total rounds after the pistol, then it's basically done there. It's on 15 already, so.
Yeah, this puts so much pressure onto them, but.
We have said that pistols in this series have been fairly evenly split. This map did go the first one to Immortals. We'll see if there's a response. Glaive going to get in behind the server at Ivy. They may overlook this, not to be, but he still hits the shots. It's 3 again. Glaive with the USP has been absolutely deadly throughout the course of the day, and another 3 big kills for him. And in a very important moment for the exact things we just highlighted. Push up from Phelps, Cillian finds him, and that will be the round. Glaive, that's brilliant.
That was so sick as well. Their close range USP, spamming it like that, it's very difficult to light up their heads like he just did then. That was very impressive indeed. Let's have a look at this. Just complete pinpoint accuracy there, shutting them down. With the Glocks as well, you'd assume a fast exchange comes in, but he holds his nerve, and he's had a fantastic tournament so far. And he will be filling in for Astralis at the Major as well, so he's sending out a message to the rest of the scene that he definitely still can play. Very, very good tournament for him. We go to the second round. No force by from Immortals as per se. They have got a couple of players on body armor. That's going to be Bolts and Phelps. The Eagles on 4 players. Henny just that P250. And this is the chance now for SK Gaming. Don't want to be throwing anything away. They want to have a clean round and start getting that economy into place that we can build upon. Phelps have a chance to take off the head of the on top of the ladder there. Freeze now. Surely going to clear up this MP9. There it is.
Oh, easily done at that. Volta's going to take Lucas, and he's going to try and push in late. Does do some damage, and in fact gets the kill on Namadi as well. That's going to give him a rifle to work with. Doesn't give them much more than that in the round. It may just, because Phelps fighting Volta, they've opened up 2 access points to this A site. Still have to confront rifles from long range, but a Deagle and a FAMAS to do so isn't necessarily the worst composition. And exactly that reason, because distance is all about accuracy with the Deagle, and Phelps certainly shows that he's got that. As Asilian, though, good timing, is going to try and push this through. His position's given away. Low HP on both Phelps and Bolts, though, and from this range, even the UMP could easily take them down as he shoulder peeks this out. Still, they want to find this ground inside of the A site, but they have not figured out where Vods is playing at all.
Glaive with a lot of HP and the rifle as well, continuing his great form here in the pistol. Takes down Phelps, and it's up to Bolts. UMP in hand and the bomb, and that's going to be a Glaive finishing things off there. So a little bit tight, a bit tense there for SK, but they managed to hold on. And it's going to be 12-5. That surely is going to be the full EK for Immortals here. They can probably justify a couple of upgraded pistols once again, some Deagles. And SK Gaming respond with a pretty heavily focused SMG buy. But Desert Eagle, especially on a map like Train, you can see how deadly they are in the right hands. Phelps lighting it up there. They're going to round number 18. 2-0 in the second half for SK Gaming. This should be a third as well. It'd be shocking if anything else happened, as they actually haven't got really any nades to play with here. This could be going down Pop Dog. Hope it's the best, and they actually get the first kill as well. Here we go.
Madi, though, does get the response, though, immediately into showtime. Glaive gets caught out, though. Tries to transfer back over. Thankfully, Madi's right there and can pick up the remaining pieces. Low HP on Phelps, nearly find him as well, but it's going to be heading down. Madi closing it. Good job. 5 kills for him. Another anti-eco ace for Madi. His second in this series.
And he's only got 8 kills after that.
Well, the other one, I think he went from 1 kill to 6 kills. So both times it's been needed.
So a little bit of a confidence boost, maybe. Get him back, get his head back into the game after getting 3-5. As we go into the first gun round now, this will be a good gauge of how SK Gaming got to try and hold their head above water as we go into round number 19. It's Asilian with the early auto side. We normally see that kind of to change things up, but he's going to be towards inside by himself and flashing over to start the round through the windows. Quite a creative flash, and he'll be alone on the inside side, but it's 3 players towards Ivy. Phelps in the corner like a hawk here. That's where the bomb will be as well. It's could be an A attack for sure. Let's see how this works out for them. No presence from the CT towards Ivy as of yet.
Smoke to the right, potential attack to the left. Virtus Pro-esque, it's Madi that's going to be waiting for this. No peek directly. He actually wants to let them round this corner. He's trying to lure them in. So the Freeze on top of the train might get an opportunity with the AWT to spot them down, but Smoke's on either side. No one's really got vision out of this.
Nice position from Freeze. Really good. Life was gifted an opportunity to hit the shot. It's going to be that goes down first, and now it's up to Freeze to really step up here. He needs to start hitting shots with his Glaive to strike blood first with the CT, take down Lucas.
Stuck in behind the E-box, though. No real escape from this 19 HP. No showtimes out toward that Pop Dog position. He's already entered sound queue, but can't play it out correctly. Look at Madi. Again, out toward Ivy. Manages to pick up 2 kills. This time, 2 may not be enough because he's gone down. It still leaves the equal amount left on either side. Auto Sniper and AWP, though, for the CTs. And as these rifles, specifically this AK from Showtime, get closer, that could be problematic to try and hold him out. Hear him potentially jumping up on top of this bomb. He didn't. He actually did that silently enough. Freeze gets taken down. That'll be the access point for the bomb. Still no idea where this auto sniper is on Asilian, which might give him some sort of advantage in at least finding the first player. He's got past the train just in time to allow that bomb plant.
Yeah, very difficult situation now for Asilian. No nades. He pulls out the P250. It's not the best weapon for a retake. Gets the auto sniper back out, and now it's such a difficult position. Train is one of the hardest maps to actually perform these retakes on. He does do considerable damage to Henny, but he'll just be trying to stay alive at this point. His teammate just going to be the one securing the round victory and just dancing around at the bomb site here, and he's going to get the final kill as well. It's Asilian that dropped, and that auto sniper setup doesn't really have much impact. Modi gets 2 kills towards Ivy, but that's all he'll get, and it's 13-6 in favor of the Brazilian side now, and they get the auto sniper in their camp. And it's not really used too much on the terrorist side, I have to say. It's more of a defensive weapon, but we'll see what they can do with it. pressure now certainly being applied to the Danes. This is going to be ever closer to match point as they are on a full eco now. Nothing purchased whatsoever, 5 silenced USPs, and we're pushing towards Ivy. Hope for the best there, see if they can get anything rolling, but the problem is Bolt's in a very defensive position, can hear a ton of footsteps, he'll probably get all 3.
And 1, 2, third. Well,
actually,
yeah, he got 2. Glaive got 1. I don't know if that counts, Henry, you're wrong.
I think I'm always right, so I'm going to say
that's true, you do. Freeze takes down Henny though. Auto sniper still in effect here for SK Gaming, but Immortals having the bomb going down to the B site. No one there immediately. It's going to allow Showtime to push up, catch off the rotations early, and potentially give themselves the 14th round, which starts to be problematic in the terms of money because this is it really for SK. They've got 43 on Modi. They may be able to push one more in here. They're going to get 24.
Look at the weapons they've got in their hand right now. An AWP and an orders number. That's not bad.
If they can save them the entire way through this.
The fact they invested literally nothing into this round, 5 USPs, no nades, and they've managed to potentially salvage these weapons, that's a very good eco round, I have to say. That's not bad at all. A couple of kills, very expensive weapons coming into your hand, that's pretty positive, but unfortunately, here comes, oh, okay, Chris, nice shot.
They may just save them yet, so that'll allow it, because 62 for Modi, 40, they'll go full in on this around it. They'll swap them around so that Freeze gets back onto the AWP rather than the auto sniper. It's a Cillian. Well, it was going to be a Cillian that had the auto sniper. It is going to be him in the end. And he's got his AWP to go against them. 2 Galils bought up by Showtime Lucas. Carried over in Lucas's case. Glaive's acting quick with Veld to try and get out toward the front of the A site, but look at Body's position right now. He's going to get aggressive. All by his lonesome right now with this M4. He's playing on the gap, banking on the fact that they might go across, but he spots the tracers instead, and Bolts goes down.
5 on 4. That's all he wanted from that situation. We go into 21, and Order Sniper salvaged from the second round, the previous round on the full eco. This is where it's going to come to life. We'll see whether Cillian can do anything with this. He's going to be inside with Briss as well. Both the snipers concentrate on this area. They've got an inkling this maybe where Terrace will end up. It'll be down to Henny now to try and get a pick back in return. To the 1-minute 10 mark.
10 mark with Denmark trying to find a round because they're desperate.
Yeah, absolutely. One more order's put it onto series points for Immortals. So everything counts at this point. So much work to do. A lot of pressure in the Danish camp, and they have to really hold on here. They have got the man advantage for now.
I don't mind this positioning right now from the auto sniper as well. They've got 2 scoped weapons on this B site. Cillian could easily pick them, but the problem is if a single smoke comes out on that sidewalk.
It's not just that. A regimented team like Immortals are not just going to do one smoke and go in. They're going to be flashing over as well, and as soon as the flash comes in, sure, he can hold down and spray, but if the bullets don't land, he's going to get wrecked by the AK, so they make their way to the side. So he needs to be very careful here. We'll see what kind of execution they do. It's all 4 players towards the lower ramp, and it's actually going to be straight up clean facing here. Cillian gets 1, 2, and 3, all 4. Why not? The auto sniper prevails, and just as I was building it up to be a really stylish play, it was just a complete nightmare on the lower ramp. Okay, forget what I just said.
Yeah, absolutely, because they didn't do any of that. They just try and go in completely bare, and that does not work at all. So that auto sniper going the other way, starting to haunt them. Yeah, no entrance at all. AKs, all you like.
They had smokes, they had flashes, but this run down, hope for the best. Well, it's going to be a full eco now. It's not a problem for Immortals to still have a huge bed of rounds to work with here. Don't have to force into it like we might see in closer games, but the 22, just trying to get a plant down towards inside. Flash goes towards our area, but Fritz working things out, but also doing some big work once more.
A Cillian with 1. It's Freeze that actually stole the second one, but he's going to find his second as well. No, he can't land it. Either way, the ball momentarily. Do they get a plant out of this? That's good work from Henny. All things considered, brings the bank back slightly more level. Balances the checkbook, but Phelps going to get chased down. Volda's got the kill. Diffuse comes in. SK will pull up to 8 rounds. Money still, though, is fine in this T campaign. It's only going to be 2 rounds against him, so 2,400 going in, but plus that bomb plant. And it allows for a decent opportunity to bring out not only 1, but a double op setup. And it's going to be Henny. Go to. It's on the ground still. I thought it might be Lucas that's going to grab that second AWP.
I think it is.
No, it did go to Phelps.
Mix it up. Keep it interesting.
Just say twin brother opping. Double op, double bros.
No, we should try that sometime.
Nah, not going to happen.
Fair enough, I tried. We go into it. It's going to be, you said, a double orb setup, but Val to open things up. He takes down Henny. That's one of the orbs dropped now. Another man advantage for SK Gaming, and Phelps trying to strike back here. He is currently looking towards A main, but that's a really Strange decision from Frizz. He didn't have to give anything away. They've got the man advantage, and we saw how effective it can be not to face at all when Immortals on the CT side, especially when you have the advantages where you don't need to be taking those kind of risks, and that's actually giving Immortals the advantage here. We always said in the 4-on-4, that does favor the T's because the CT have to spread a lot thinner, but Glaive, he answers back.
They're rotating out of this position already. Bolts is going to use a smoke just to make sure he not only grabs the AWP, but gets out safely. It actually gives him a chance to repeat it, but it's out toward Ivy. They need to equalize this early. That helps Bolts with the shot, and now he'll fade away from this position, and they may just go all three. Lucas and Showtime, so they'll have an op out here. Watch Maudy's positioning, though. Is he going to go all the way here? He's checked the off angle, but no flash out. He's just going to walk out completely open, and Showtime holds the angle. That's a giveaway. So they go from having a man advantage completely falling apart. Molotov out to deny that entrance point. Bolts will pull back into a Cillian, though, and now it's just on Volda. They know he's got to be up close to this Ivy. They know that Molotov landed from somewhere inside of the A site, so it should be checked. It's going to be Showtime going down, but immediate information relayed by Lucas, and he gets the refrag. It is going to be map, series, and playoff point for Immortals.
I'm just not a fan of Frizz's decision-making in that situation. It's such a weird play from him to actually go for the reface there. It's a great shot from Bolts through the smoke to take down Glaive, but still, when they have that kind of advantage, you want to be making the T's to bring the next move to the table. They allow them to get a frag back there, and that's when it started to fall apart. Glaive did what he could. But we're going to round number 24 here. It's a series point, 7 in a row required from the Danes just to bring us into overtime. They've got a double up set up on the CT side. Still not done here quite yet. They are on the CT side, and Modi's going to struggle here, but steps up, takes down Bolts, and manages to escape as well. That was tight. But another advantage going in favor of SK.
Modi's going to stay in that position as well, but Glaive has pushed up close to Pop Dog in this position. So it does give them some aggression on the A site. Cillian alone inside a B. Not able to connect that shot toward Freeze, gives them a bit more of an opportunity, but he comes right through and finds Glaive in the open. It's brilliant with the AWP to catch him off. Glaive, he could have been ready for that entirely and still loses the duel. That pulls it back to 4s and Immortals. Again, series point. Now have a chance to open up this round with a minute left to play with. And again, Cillian, the only one on this B site, is going to be, and hopefully this time, Henry, executed against, not just walked in cleanly from Immortals.
I think they probably learned their lesson from that round. So, yeah, I would assume there's a little boost coming in here. Phelps to see if he can spot anything. Doesn't actually get any info from that. So it's going to be 4-on-4, 40 seconds remaining. It's almost certainly going to be an inside play at this point. It'd be crazy to try and do a fake, considering they have no control of the map whatsoever. Showtime going out to other prefers, and Cillian could get caught out here.
This is weird for him to do. He's trying to, okay, he gets back down fast enough that he was trying to get the flash up, but he could have been pushed in from the bottom of the ramp. Either way, it's Showtime with the kill. It's down to just 3 remaining. Bomb planted. Volda's going to try and hold the long angle to allow the rifles around the corner, but Freeze gets caught on entry. It's Phelps with the kill. Monty managing one back, but has Showtime got the information? Apparently not. Monty with a good position has down to 2 versus 2. It's going to be kits on both players. They've got time to work, but the high ground is in the possession of Henny with that Molotov, and Lucas is going to make this almost impossible. He's gone to the M4 Volda. It's his first international tournament. It might be his last round in it. He's been brilliant, but it is going to be Immortals. They move forward. And a comeback after losing map 1, 16-6. They close out the series with 2 double-digit victories of their own.
Yeah, getting crushed on that first map. We said they had to bounce back and have some of that flair that we didn't really see, and that started to show on Overpass and then Train. We really did speculate before we went into this one map that this is a new team, well, not even a team, they're playing with 2 stand-ins, right? And they had very little time to prepare. And they've had great fundamentals. In terms of a unit, they've been solid. SK have impressed everyone, looking more stable than the actual full-time lineup of this team. And unfortunately for them, Train was a little bit stretched too far for them. The tactical depth wasn't there, relying on the picks and the default plays. It just wasn't enough to get them enough T-rounds there. And I said, if they didn't win the piss without GG, they managed to step up and Glaive for that godlike play towards Ivy. That was enough to keep the dream alive for a little bit longer, but ultimately, they do fall on the final map, and I have to tip my hat to them. Considering the circumstances, they've done very well this tournament.
Yeah, and considering the circumstances, not only that, but considering their performance just 3 weeks ago at Starladder, that was a complete reversal of what we saw, and obviously there's encouragement moving forward on that. Again, Volda, with Glaive going off to Astralis, has a real chance of potentially being a permanent fixture on this roster, which would be great. I love seeing new talent. Oscar, Volda, Lekro, there's lots of guys coming up right now.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been phenomenal. So it's great when we have these players like stepping up from whether it's from like FBL or just an unknown name that comes into a team from the Danish scene, the lower ranks, and he's been absolutely phenomenal.
Akis will be the next.
You keep saying that.
It's going to happen.
All right.
Someone in North America is going to realize the answer is not just bringing over European players, washed up European players. They're going to pick up Akis.
British players.
Washed up British players.
I'm next. I'm going over.
Well, at least I can get rid of you somehow. That said, Smix is standing by on the stage with our lovely winners.
Thank you very much, Sadicus. I am joined here with Zach as well. First of all, congratulations. Always a good feeling to move on. And before we get started, I need to ask you, you guys played SK yesterday, and that was actually a loss. But this time, you guys were able to come out with a win. So I'm wondering, were there any lessons you learned there that you were able to apply today?
I think that yesterday we should have won. They played very well yesterday, but we played like shit, you know. We do a lot of mistakes and we correct them today. That's pretty much it.
Well, the first map was on Cobblestone, which is one of your best maps. And yet, despite that, it just felt like you guys just never showed up. And I feel like with Immortals, it seems to be a trend where when you guys get the momentum, you guys just seem, you know, on form. People are showing up, people are playing and hitting their shots. But when the momentum is never starting, it just seems like Immortals, that's a problem they struggle with. So what are your thoughts on that?
Like I said today, they are very young players. So they need to work on the emotional and the mental part. It's very hard to do a comeback when you're young because your emotions are flowing, you know. We are learning a lot with LG because they are more experienced. So we have to control our emotions, that's it.
Well, speaking of emotions, we're going to be playing against Godsend next. And they've been very emotional when they were playing because they were doing so well yesterday. They defeated NIP to move on to the semifinals. So definitely going to be a tough series there. But, you know, obviously, if they want to win, they need to beat Godsend. So what are your team's thoughts on that?
They are very strong. It's a team we have a lot of respect. We respect all of them. They are legends. But we're going to do our best. We have to try, right?
Of course, so try your best, you will, and congratulations again, Zach, and best of luck in the semifinal match tomorrow. Of course, we do have one more match left in the day. Will be NIP versus Epsilon. Before we jump into that, though, let's go over this match with Machine and the boys.
Doesn't sound like Zach's too confident coming into tomorrow after that win. We'll see. Play it by ear. You can hear fear in his voice, but they have done it. Immortals do knock SK out. And I mean, let's be honest, that is how the desk outlined it. That should be happening. But then again, we've been saying should for a while now with Immortals and their current performance. I've got myself Vendetta and Lord is joining me to try and just understand a little bit. There's some chanting going on. I can hear some loud sweets.
NIP fans.
I think it's because
they're starting early.
Oh, they're starting already. Okay.
Yeah.
So just a little hint, if you can hear the noise, that's because NIP are playing next. That's going to be going down. We're going to be seeing NIP playing their survival game. But gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about this. It's 3 maps. It feels like so long ago we played Cobble. But let's start at that beginning, where SK surprised us.
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously, I think it's just, first off, it likes to mention, Immortals didn't really show up on Cobble. I mean, that's the one map we were expecting them to kind of set the pace of the game and not have a rough start, because we've seen way too many times that Immortals just completely fall off when they don't get off to at least somewhat decent start. Madi had an exceptional game, pretty much carried the heavy load for SK on the better part of Cobble, and we saw them being so disruptive with the T setups that we, well, you know, in the pregame kind of hailed on the side of Immortals, that they really couldn't do a lot of their set executes that they normally thrive on.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see them drop their map pick, obviously.
Yeah.
One of the reasons they were so good was because they were able to, like, for example, earlier, or versus Ents, they took drop, like Phelps would find a frag and drop, or he would immediately drop down, right, and then get a kill, jump out, and then they would have a connector split right to follow, right? But versus SK, it seemed like SK had so much more control over each round, and they were much more free when it came to giving up a piece of map control and then still having an answer for it. Whereas Ents were kind of like, once our static default got destroyed, we look like, or we make Immortals look like they're this amazing team.
Right.
Now that being said, they are a very good Cobble team, right? But one of the struggles Dignitas had as they were rising up was becoming the more and more studied team on Cobble means that your job becomes harder every day because people know exactly how you're going to play. Even if they don't, you might get in your own head about it. And so that might have contributed to that. And also the fact that both teams dropped their map pick.
Did it look a little bit, I was actually kind of looking through Twitter, I saw Magic Boy obviously watching, he has got exams, so he can't be playing, I'm sure that's agonizing to see, but he was just sitting back and just saying that it felt like going into the second map, he felt like SK had changed what was working. They were trying to make a lot more individual plays than playing as a team. Is there some truth in that from your perspective?
I definitely think it was. Initially, or eventually, I guess is the better word for it, SK started to move back towards what they wanted to do. But again, like one of the big things that made them successful versus Astralis initially on their key side was the fact that Madi was able to get into that B-bomb side as Londres said he would, and actually found carry pretty much every single time he did it. And that obviously creates a rotation or just freezes up the CT side to a point where you can abuse that a lot more. That didn't really happen at all on Overpass. And again,
Lucas was just
exactly
destroying him.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also a different storyline. The fact that we kind of expected Phelps or Henny to be the rising stars, or the one who's shown the brightest for Immortals, but on Overpass that was Lucas all day, in and out.
And then you come into a map that you have just previously conceded on, and it's always discussed. I love that you lose a map yesterday, you play the same map. Usually, it's like there's some mad statistic, the other team will win it. It's rare to see teams win both. And that was the case again today. Immortals looked a little different, despite a couple of ups and downs. We are going to look at the updated group graphic. And the reason we're making this one short is because it went all the way. SK did still push Immortals as we did anticipate. And we have one more game to go. We are going to be seeing the Ninjas on stage. But you can see it will be the double Swedish roster, NIP versus Epsilon. We have waved goodbye to SK, but they are going to be very, very happy with what they've done. And I think they're going to be, we've learned a lot of lessons. One of the lessons that we've learned, and that is, of course, our closing discussion surrounding this, as we wave goodbye to our third team. What did we learn about SK? First up, Valdi, can you sign my T-shirt?
Yeah.
Big fan of him, and I thought let's do some closing thoughts on him.
I had a bit of a rough last Best of 3 series, but definitely showed that he can play at this kind of a level. Yeah. And for this being his first big international event, I don't think you could have expected more out of him. Honestly, he overperformed to what you should set as expected standard. So all the credit to him, and the other guys in SK for actually making him work, like actually being able to utilize him in a good way.
And anything else to add?
Yeah, it can be super easy to sedate yourself when you start doing well when you're not supposed to, and just have an average performance from there on out. But he continued to have so much great impact. Like even when they were getting stomped on Overpass, we saw some amazing the 1v1s that were just so supremely well played. Right? Just you see him having clarity of mind, confidence, and just withstood the pressure so well.
Modi described him as a complete player. It's kind of crazy that he's come into the roster and like, you're good, dude. Just so you know, you're actually pretty damn good. Anything to add for SK, or are we good? We good. All right, cool. So SK have fallen, and we will be seeing more from the Immortals. However, they do need to shape up if they want to be able to put it to Godsent, who have been in sterling form here in Jönköping, Sweden, for the DreamHack Zowie Open. 100,000 on the line, and we get one step closer to the semi-finals. It's one more team, one more spot alongside Astralis in that semi-final. It's either going to be NIP or Epsilon. It's going to be an all-Swedish affair. And if you want a little preview of how that's going to go down, you want to understand how, which players, which rosters are going to find success, or you want to see just how good did Valdi do, you can check all those stats and more over at thescoreesports.com. So, no, that's a lie, not .com. Oh, I've been so good. Application. The Score Esports application.
So close.
So